Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Wandering Watercolor. So today I'm working on the third page of the Quaint Scenery watercolor coloring book. It's part of the series of watercolor coloring books that I make myself through the use of lithographs. Thank you for purchasing it, and if you're here just to paint along and you didn't purchase one, that's fine. Basically just pause and look at the image that we'll be painting, draw it out, and then start painting with us. And all the info for where you can buy it if you want to, it'll be in the description. And let's start painting. So this is the image that we are working on today, and you can use the little brush from the watercolor palette that I sell. If you didn't get one, you can just use whatever palette. If you have another brush, that may also be a good thing to use. This is just something I normally use for sketching, but I also sell them with my palettes that I make myself. That way people have a little brush to use if they don't have one, along with the 10 colors that come with it. That'll also be in the description. And I recommend having a rag, a little soap dish or something, or like a porcelain plate or something you can use to mix your colors, along with a scrap piece of paper and maybe a jar of water on the side so you're not using the reservoir. The image that we're painting today is this one right here. So this is the print, and then this is the image, and this will be a rather involved, complex image. I know it looks intimidating at first, but we're just gonna go step by step, so it shouldn't be that difficult, and you'll see how kind of like when we do everything one at a time, it'll come together pretty easily. First thing, we're just gonna grab some of this yellow right here. As you can tell, it's a very, very yellow scenery. And we're gonna maybe get a little bit of this green, just a very slight amount. That's too much. That is way too much. What I was aiming for is to kind of neutralize the yellow a little bit. Maybe better with a little bit of burgundy. And get a little more yellow, because we're trying to get kind of like that pastel yellow color that a lot of older buildings have. This actually looks pretty good. No, it's way too green. On second thought, I'm just gonna pick up a bunch of it, rinse it off, pick up a bunch, and grab some more yellow. Grab more yellow, maybe add a little bit of brown in it too. Fix it up a little. Still looks a tad too green for my liking. I'm mixing a lot of it just because obviously there's a lot in the piece. I'm just gonna pick it up, rinse it off, pick it up, rinse it off, pick it up, rinse off. Do that a bunch, because we gotta clear that out. Okay, we can get more yellow, and actually get some of the bright yellow a little bit. Still a little too green for me. I'm gonna grab a little more brown. It helps offset a lot of that. There we go, that's much better. Okay, and I'm gonna get a lot of water. Like this needs to be really watery, because you're wanting more. You want to dilute the pigment so that it's lighter. More of the white comes through from the paper. So we're grabbing that, and we're just gonna go straight in, just straight in. Like don't overthink it. It's okay if you mess up. You don't need to stay inside the lines. Like just go over all of this right here. Just completely go over it. Don't even worry about it. Right here, just all of this. Maybe just get some water, spread it out. All of this. I'm just kind of avoiding where this shrub is right here. Keep going. Leave this white here, the frame for the window. Leave that white. Oops, I got a little bit in. That's all right. Go all over, all of here. Here and here. Basically all of the areas that have the brick. And leave this white frame. Don't color it in. Everywhere else though is, I mean, also avoiding where the shrubbery is. Where the little like pots and plants are. Gonna avoid all of that. Otherwise, this you can just color all that. Color over it. That's okay. Down here. And get some more. And back here. Color all that in. Right here. And back here. Yeah, there's a lot of yellow in this piece. A lot of yellow and yellow tones. And just cover all through. And same here. Actually, you can cover these two. Then you just, because we're gonna use dark colors to paint them in, so that's fine. Okay, keep going. Try to leave the roofs, the little line of the roof here. Try to leave that white. It's not the end of the world if you don't, though. It's easily fixable. And go all the way here. And there. And back here. And also down here in the front. Oh, I need a little spot over here. Down here in the front. Go like that. And over here. And right here. Just basically everywhere where there's brick, avoiding all the greenery. You can even fill this in. This is going to be pretty much black. There's like a very dark hole here, so it's not... It's fine to just cover it up. Okay, all this. I'm going to leave this door white. I'm not going to color that in yet. And there. Wow, that was a lot. But did it pretty quick, alright. So I'm just gonna use another one. So instead of having to worry about cleaning that one up, I'm just gonna use another one. But if you want to pause your video and then clean up that plate, the next thing we're gonna do is grab the brown, throw in a little bit of yellow, and throw in a little bit of the blue, actually. There we go. And then put a bunch of water in there. Because all this is, it's kind of like this desaturated brown. That's just for the dirt road right here. And we're going to put that all over all over right there. And just filling it in. Just a flat wash. Not worrying about any texture or anything. Just put it all in there. We'll worry about the texture later. Right here. Okay. Okay, yeah, so far so good. Chugging along. Next, we will get the roofs. The roofs kind of have like a terracotta red to it, and then there's a couple of pots throughout, along with some like the flower bed here, the windowsill up here. So there's a lot of small spots that have this kind of like a terracotta red, and the way we're going to mix that is use brown. We're going to use the brown and the burgundy, and it's too bright. This is too. Let me move that in a little bit. I didn't realize it was off of the camera by a little bit. There we go. So basically, the way we're gonna mix this is, oh come on, yeah, that's annoying. Okay, there we go. The way we're gonna mix this is just, yeah, the burgundy, the brown. And we're gonna throw a little bit of the black in here. Just, that's too much. That is too much. All right, I'm just gonna rinse my brush off, pick up a bunch of it, rinse it off. Let me get more burgundy. There we go. That's a little better. Let me get a little more brown. A little more brown. Okay, then that's looking better. It's a little it's a little more of like a muddled brick sort of, you know, terracotta. It's more earthy. It's not bright. Like you don't want it to look too synthetic. And so for that, what we're going to do is we're going to do a line over here. I'm going to fill this in. We're going to put in for this little pot right here, this pot right here, these three little pots. I feel like I'm saying a fairy tale. These three little pots, this pot, and let's see. We're gonna this right here. We're gonna call it this red, and some red right here. This pot is also red, or terracotta color. And so then the top here, the roof, the tiles on the roof, this roof, and then here, and here. This roof, and then here, down here on the slope, and this right here, and there's also some right here, and also this windowsill, and let's see what else. Oh, maybe this roof right here, and okay, that's all looking good. I'm gonna do this door all red. And this windowsill right here. Okay, not bad. Did a lot there. Next, we're gonna focus on this little like wooden garden bed here, and also same color as this bench, which is brown. I'm gonna get some brown. Okay. And that's actually pretty good. We're just gonna color it in. Just layer it all in. And again, don't worry if you go outside the lines. You should never really worry about that. If you go out a little bit, it's okay. We'll give it a little personality. And this bench, alright, all this is brown. Or that particular shade of brown. Okay, so everything's looking pretty good so far. And we're actually going to throw that brown right here as well. Cool. So next, we're going to rinse off. We're going to get our green right there. Get some of the brown. Mix that in. Get some water. Some more water. Some more brown. More green. Okay, that's looking good. We're gonna get this yellow right here. Let's see, that's looking pretty good. But we're gonna need a little bit of this yellow. Let's see, so that's looking, yeah, that's a good yellow-green. It's just too pigment concentrated, so I'm gonna go over here on the side. I'm gonna get some water, just drop some water. Pick up pigment. And then more water. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. There we go. Alright, so there's a lot of these kind of like red flowers here, and in some other parts of the picture. So it interwoven with the green. So I'm just gonna put in some green here and there, like that. And then just kind of fill all of this in. Okay. Got something on my brush there. Remove that. And get more of the green. Just throw it in there. And sneak it in between the little petals here. Or little flowers. And also right here. And then in this little corner, we get some green in there. And these little shrubs, and just some green. And right there. And then here. Don't worry, all of the colors dry much lighter, so if it looks a little confusing right now, it's totally okay. When they dry, you can kind of see the details come through. And then get it right there. Okay, just putting all that in. Take your time. Don't worry, don't rush. Just layer it all in. If there's some white spots, that's also totally fine. Okay, get it in there. Okay, and then here, get some water, kind of dilute it in. And this portion right now that I'm coloring in, putting the flat wash in, this whole building is in shadow because the light is coming from like back here and from up and back. And basically basically all of this is one color, but there is going to be a flat wash of a shadow that I'm going to apply to this whole side of the building here. Put that in. Okay, there we go. Okay, get that. And then put that in. Cool. Okay. So it's coming along pretty nicely. I mean, you can at least kind of see how it's coming together. Next, let's see. So next we'll focus on some of the darker areas, like this alcove right here, right here, the windows. All of those are kind of like they have dark brown. Well, for the windows and doors are actually, they're pretty dark brown. So let's fill those in first. We'll get this and then put that right there. Dark brown. It doesn't have to be perfect, just take your time so you're happy with it whenever you're done filling it in. And we will do the same right here. And get that. Same right here. And this one. And also here. And here. This one, and you're basically just going in and filling in all the windows, really. Windows and doors. And then we're going to go back for some of them and make them even darker. Not all of them, just some of them. This one. The little one up here. There's a little one up here as well. And we're also actually going to lay down, because there's like a shadow over here, we're just going to lay down just this. That we'll work on more on that in a little bit, but we'll just lay that in there. Okay, so that's all of that. And we're also going to put a shadow right here. This isn't going to be brown, it's going to be black, but I'm laying a base color because when we put the other one on top of it, it'll help it look much darker when you're kind of like layering in the colors like that. Okay, so next what we'll do is we're gonna apply some shadows throughout, well, throughout all of the buildings over here. This one, see, like, all of these are more exposed to light, and this one is all in shadow. And first we'll get a little blue here, kind of rub this in, make it a little darker, a little more maybe. There we go. That looks pretty good, but now we just need a bunch of water because we want to dilute that, because it's going to be a wash and it's going to be shadowy. So this is probably good. We'll go ahead and we'll run this over the whole thing here, going like this, like this. And the shadow kind of cuts in like this on the ground. We'll cover this in part, kind of like that. All of this. It's okay if it still looks a little weird. We're just gonna let that dry, and then we'll add another layer in there. But you could see that that gives it depth. Gonna add some shadows here underneath the bricks, kind of like give them a little bit of an outline, like some of the bricks are sticking out. And like almost like there's indents in the building itself. Here for the shadow under the windowsill. Just kind of outlines throughout. And some right here. There we go. And like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you get the idea. Because there's different aspects that... This is not a flat surface, so you can kind of create more interest in texture by adding shadow to the bricks or to... So that looks fine. We'll put it right here. This one has a bigger shadow because it has the roof kind of sticking out. There we go. And some right here. And we're gonna put more shadow over here under this one and to the side. See how that gives it depth? It really makes it helps emphasize the feeling of space in between. Okay. And some more right here. I'm gonna do a little line just running down. It helps separate the one building from the other. And up here, as well as down here. There we go. It all looks good so far. I'm also gonna go ahead and put in some, like for the cobblestone on the ground, just gonna put some suggestion. This right here, just because this is all casting a shadow, and then just put like some dots right there, like just showing that there's texture in the ground and that there's basically like gravel on the road. Okay, now we're gonna pick up a little more, and this garden bed also casting a shadow will go like this, like this and like this. Go all in here. Like that. Cover it all in. Okay, and step back, look at it for a moment. Okay, not bad. And get a little more brown here. And maybe mix in some of the shadow color with the brown. And I'm gonna go ahead and just put that right here. Basically kind of like variability in the wood makes it look more interesting. Same right here. Okay. So that's, yeah, looking good. It's a very complex image, so it just takes a little while to get it all ironed out. We are at half an hour so far, but we are more than halfway done, so at least that's good. So I'm gonna give that and the different shadows a moment to rest. And next, I'm just gonna grab this red right there. And this green, I mean yellow, not green. And just mix this nice orange. And I'm gonna use that for these. There's something on my brush, okay. These flowers down here, that's too much. The flowers down here and the flowers in here. I'm just gonna run that all through them. And some more. And just dab it all in there. Don't even worry about like being perfectly inside the lines or going over other colors. Just throw it all in there. And let's see, some right here. And maybe a little right here. And some there was a little bit right here. I should have left some white space, but that's okay. Just throw it right in there. Okay. Now we're gonna get the black, kind of mix it in with the brown here, maybe a little dark blue. And we're gonna put this directly over this brown right here. Create a little more contrast. But when it dries, it's again not gonna look this dark. I'll put a little bit right here. Right here. Use that right here. These two little windows, they're a little blacker. Definitely right here. In this big area. A little bit underneath this roof. There we go. That was actually pretty good. And then I'm gonna kind of get some of the pigment and water off, and then just kind of do like a more dry gray wash over this window. Okay, that looks good. Something I realized that I should have put more of a shadow right here. But first we need to put the brown for the plant that's in here. There we go, that's fine. Kind of like the small trunk of this little plant, potted plant. And now, while we're waiting for these spaces to dry, we can go ahead and apply the shadow of the shrubs and bushes throughout the painting. I'm gonna grab some of this brown, mix it in, maybe a little blue. There we go. That's actually a pretty good dark green. And we'll go ahead and we'll put it right in here. There we go. And kind of don't just do a continuous line, just kind of like dab it in here and there, make it textured. It makes it look much better. And same for this one right here. Gonna get on the bottom. Probably just gonna cover this one entirely since it's already entirely in shadow. And then from the bottom on this side, put some right here, right there. And just kind of fill it all in. Go slowly. I mean, don't fill it all in. Just kind of like to make it as a shadow. Just the bottom part of it. Kind of give it some depth. Give it form with the shadow. Same here. Okay, fill all of this in, and okay, put that in here. Just like don't make it very robotic. Just kind of make it sporadic and just spread it all in, dab it. It really helps give it a better feel. Because if you look at a shrub in real life, it's very kind of like sporadic, all over the place. It's not all the same thing. And doing so, just kind of like having fun with it and kind of like just throwing it in there, it makes it look much better. It makes it look more organic. That's kind of the goal. Throw that in here. Okay. And then put it in here. Almost done with the greens. Just kind of add some layering. There we go. It's a good thing we mixed a lot of it, because you can see kind of how it went all over. And we're gonna put more right here just because they're two separate shrubs right here, one from the pot and one from what's growing on the wall. So that's why I put it in like that, to show the difference between the two of them. Okay, and then this part, and that's pretty much it for the greens. I'm gonna rinse off my brush, and then I need a little bit of an outline for some variability for the browns, or the terracotta here. Grab a little bit of brown, and a little bit of this dark color, and then there's gonna, yeah, that's good. That's good right there. So we're gonna grab that and then just kind of do a outline at the bottom of this. Bottom of this. And here. Also in this one. And same for this roof. Just a little outline right underneath. If you have a different brush, if you're using like a fine liner, this should be a lot easier. If you're using this brush that I sell with the little kit, then just go slowly. If you're not confident, and if you mess up a little, that's totally fine. Okay, there we go. Grab a little more of this. I'm gonna do an outline right here. And like that. Maybe show some of the door, like emphasize some of the bits of the door. Like that. So far so good. Next, I'm gonna get a little more brown and I'm gonna mix all this in. And then I'm just gonna get water and kind of like dilute it a little bit and clean off my brush a little bit. And I'm gonna put that right in here. Create separation between the different parts here, because this is darker. This is a little lighter, this is darker, and that's how we can distinguish that now. I'm gonna get a little bit more of the dark and then get that in here. And also up here. And leave that little bar in there, and then also over this. And it's actually, I'll do a little bit right here too. Rinse my brush and actually grab a little more and do a line right there to separate this. Separates this shadow from here. Okay, that's better. We are almost done. We're very close to being done. Next, we need to envelop all of this in shadow. And after we do that, we just need to put a sky in there, and then we're pretty much done. To put all of this in shadow though, we need to, this is our shadow color right now. We just need to make it a little cooler. And we'll get the blue right here. I'm just picking up some of this color and then rinsing it off. And get more of the blue. Throw that in here. Okay, we're getting there. We're almost there. Rinse that off. A little more blue. Part of the reason for that is because when we make all of this in a cooler shadow, it'll separate it that much more from the rest of the painting. It'll help give that feeling of depth. A little more blue. And I'm just gonna grab my scrap sheet here. It's probably perfect. That looks just about perfect. Maybe get a little more water. And now we're just gonna go We're gonna go in one go. Try not to rub it in back and forth, because that can make you pick up some of the color that's underneath. So we're just gonna go right there and then right over, and see how that looks like a shadow being cast on top of the building. And then just continue doing that right on top. Just cover the whole thing in shadow. And just all the way down. Just, you can literally go all the way down to the end of the page. There. If you end up picking up some of the color underneath, it's not the end of the world. Just try not to overdo it. Okay, yeah, that looks really good actually. Like that actually looks like it's enveloped in shadow. There may be a couple of little spots, you know, like from the brush stroke, and if you have those like I do, just go in, just put a little, maybe a little dot, and then dry off your brush, and then come back in and pick it up. Sorry about that. That was my phone. Okay. Okay, so we just need to, the last bit, we're almost done, is just put in the sky. I'm just gonna clear up my little plate here. I'm gonna grab the blue and I'm just gonna dilute it with some water. This is the blue that we need, and I'm gonna go right in here like this. Some more blue. And just get some water. That's it. We are done. And that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you can add a little more contrast if you want to in certain areas, like some of the windows maybe, but that actually looks really good. So yeah, good job if you followed all the way through. So that concludes the third page of the Quaint Scenery watercolor coloring book. Thank you for sticking all the way through with me, if you did, and basically I'll put another one up either today or tomorrow. I'll try to do another one today, but other than that, I will see you next time.